Hi, it's Monique. So I just wanted to quickly come on and let you know that we're doing a rebroadcast of a interview that John and I did with Fred the Elven Boy in 2016. It was March of 2016. He was super, super sweet to come on with us. However, you're really not going to have any idea what he's talking about. And I know we had at one point done a closed caption of it, which was kind of ridiculous in itself. So hopefully you'll understand enough of it and you'll get an idea as to what it was like to be Fred. And rest in peace, Fred the Elephant Boy. We're really sorry to see you go. It was wonderful to have you as our friend. Here we go. Hello? Fred?
Yes.
There he is.
I'm sorry. I don't know if you see my left stats, but my headphones not compatible to my phone.
No, you sound fine.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great.
You sound fine.
Okay, so whenever you're ready.
We're with you.
Mr. Schreiber.
Oh, we are here.
Hello, Mr. Schreiber. Welcome to the RadioGunk family.
That's John. Fredicus pachydermicus. Welcome to our show.
Hi.
We're so excited to have you.
Hi, everybody.
Huh?
Good, Fred. Thanks.
We are great. We're excited to have you. We were just talking about you actually before you called in.
Oh, believe me, I've been asked all kinds of questions, so I'm ready for you.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
And we're ready for you.
Fred, you would go in the category of more beloved than an Oprah TV movie, because I mean, I don't know about you, Monique.
Oh,
It seems like
that's so nice.
No, it seems to me that you do fit a beloved category, and I honestly don't know anyone who dislikes you. And
Absolutely.
This is a very rowdy bunch. It's a very critical, sort of hate-scathing kind of.
Yeah, you know Stern fans. They fucking hate everything. Right.
And I would put you in the beloved category, like with your Beetlejuices and your Hank the Angry Dwarf.
Agreed. And you know what? We wanted to talk to you about things that just seem to never be able to get around to on the air. So we kind of put together a bunch of questions that we think, or hopefully you'll be able to answer for us, and we can get to know you a little better, okay?
Yeah, you know, with anything, with the good, there's bad, so if there's negative people, at least I got more positive people, you know, hopefully listen to your show.
Well, most of the people that listen to our show are people that, you know, adore you. I
appreciate that.
Yeah, we really do. And so, you know, that's where I wanted to start with you is exactly how did you wind up being on the show? Like, what was the first time on air for you, and how long ago was that?
Back in 1987.
Wow.
I was on that particular week, Tammy the Terrestrial, the girl who grunts, you know, and it was on a diet date. And I said to a friend that I should be on the show. I am more pathetic than she is. She does grunts. Me, it's hard to understand me, so
Shit.
me and my friend want to let you to Howard, and that Wednesday Carrie called me to see whether I was legit. Thursday, Howard called me and invited me to the show for a diet date, and the rest is history.
So you were on a dial-a-date in studio?
Yeah, it took me a week when I first wrote the letter to be on the air. It was a fantastic experience. You know, I wasn't nervous, but I was very aware I was doing, not to make a big fool of myself.
Fred, where are you from exactly? Long Island?
I'm from Queens.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Western Queens.
Nicole Bass says hi, Fred.
I tell Nicole I miss her. Hopefully she's doing okay.
I think she is. She's finally coming out of her bad place that she was in for a little while. I know she came to your roast, as a matter of fact, right?
I got a text from a friend that need like a place to crash, and I have a very small apartment. It wouldn't do. My friend asked me if she can use my house, and it's like impossible.
Oh, well, even better news, Fred. We're developing an animated series with you and Nicole. She-Hulk the Elephant Boy. She-Hulk the Elephant.
Yeah, because it would be the odd couple extreme.
We're shopping at the Disney XD and Cartoon Network right now. It should really take off.
Okay. You make yourself.
I think we're going to put it on Reels after AJ Benz's new show.
For every residual Howard doesn't give you, you'll get rewarded for this. So
yeah, so let's talk about, I have to tell you something, Fred. The one thing that everybody has tweeted me about and really wants to talk about, which is pretty topical, is the whole stupid, first off, I have to tell you, I detest High Pitch Eric, okay? But it's the High Pitch Eric fight, and how a disproportionate amount of people, will tell you and will honestly believe that the entire thing was set up. So I need you to set this story straight and tell us truthfully whether or not this was like a completely fabricated fight. I mean, I know you guys hate each other, but the whole thing seemed a little bit weirdly set up to us. So
like wrestling, Fred, like scripted.
Kind of scripted.
I wish it was wrestling because it would be meant to have better stories than what this is.
Yeah, no shit.
I know this is weird. I'm a little more sensitive than the rest of you, only because what I went through when I was younger with my speech impediment. I don't let nobody make fun of me, but burden me, because I went throughout my life when I went to school. If I had a gun, I would probably do a Columbine. You know, when I was in the fifth or sixth grade, I almost committed suicide because I was so depressed.
Jesus.
I never like that. So when somebody threatened me, most people say, "Oh, does Happy Eric choke you around because he cannot comprehend how one fight properly."
You see, Fred, we wish Eric would commit suicide now. I should keep wishing
I admit that 400 pounds he can still move. I move around. Mark my word, pretty soon it will be very moo next time he comes on the show.
Yep.
So,
because no pants or short will fit him.
So let me ask you a question.
Triple XXX granny dress, so whatever you want to call it. So but nevertheless, so what happened before I start, I heard you say that it started, as I say until when I called up the show last week, it's Alfred, people give me comics about Eric or cartoons or GIFs or gifts or whatever you call it, and I find it funny and I retweet it to people. Whatever I say about Eric, it's not like stuff I make up. It's stuff that he measured over the air, or how he measured over the air, something to talk about. it's nothing I knew when I tweet stuff about Happy Eric. So because of that, I don't believe I am bullying. It's just taking stuff people laugh at, stuff people make up, and because of his disposition with the rest of the people, that's how he gets his, for the lack of a better word, his 2 cents come to him. So because he hasn't been nice to his fans or people who want to know what his side of the story. I wouldn't be surprised if you asked him to be on your show to say, here, give me $500 and I do your show. That's the stories I hear about him.
So let me ask you a question. So after you guys had this big to-do, why exactly did TMZ get involved with it? Like, why were they contacted? Like, who contacted them?
Let me tell you something, guys. Fred, hold on one second. Yes. Howard has former interns and office people that work at TMZ.
Right.
So there's a total link to...
yes.
Yeah, so there's a total correlation.
So it wasn't you that called them? It wasn't you that called TMZ?
No, there was an article about Happy Eric arrest, and they only got one side of the story. Happy, like, I took it one way or the other, because it was his thought, or like I said, I don't want to excuse it, but I think Charlie Bush was behind it. He knows how to get press. So I wouldn't be surprised if Charlie Bush was behind him. And when I saw the article, if you go to their website, there's a phone number. You can call for tips. So
right.
If you say something,
right. If you know something, say something. Right.
It's at the homepage. So I type in, I am not everybody. If you want to hear my side of the story, call up my number. And somebody called me from TMC, so I gave him my side of the story, and there was a part 2, on the website, and my reporter was 1 sentence long. So like I said, I don't, we don't care what people think about me. It's what people who've been nice to me. I think most of the time I am, I'm very concerned. I'm very good, good nurse, and about how it happens. Oh, I'm getting to attention. Let me tell you what happened. So I tweeted something about Happy. It was, I think it's funny, and Happy's taken too personally, and he tried to call me up, and from the first part, I don't want to ever speak to Happy unless if it's on the show.
Agreed.
Monique, I pulled the article up now.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't actually have a name attached to who wrote it. It just says TMZ staff. It's as if they don't want an individual name, like you could connect it to the show. And it's very, very brief, and it's very odd because High Pitch Eric is his fucking cop groupie.
Right.
He's like a police fucking groupie, and he's like a little mascot for the police. So you'd think he wouldn't even put himself. It seems very suspicious.
It is very suspicious to all of us, actually. We were all talking about it and thinking how suspicious the whole setup. It feels set up. Like for you.
Yeah, and that's one of the ways I decided to, go to the Elizabeth back in December, or there was, maybe that November, it was at the start of December. I was invited to have, a Christmas dinner with the cops, Eric, and so on with. They work in a New York prison in Forest Hill, Queens area. That's where Harper's came from originally. I just want to go and make much of Harper's cops friend, and said they're very nice to me. I have no problems with it. So get back to my story. So Harper's was trying to call me up. Tried to text me. And when they want to hear from me, it began to curse me out. If it was just cause, I wouldn't mind.
Wait, you know what? I have to tell you something.
But then it became the description. I said, blocking from Twitter. Him and Charlie Bush, and that got him so mad, he went off to Japan. That's when it threatened me.
John and Fred. Wait, I have a question, because this is actually really interesting. John, I'm thinking something now. It's formulating in my brain that I truly believe, Fred, I'm really going to go on the line here and say you were fucking set up. You were set up to be a foil for High Pitch Eric for the show.
Oh, we said that 2 weeks ago.
For the People's Court. For this whole thing to be a showcase for him to be on the show. There is no way that they talked about this on Monday and were able to set up this whole Whackpacker court thing by Wednesday.
It's too involved.
It was too involved.
They had to be working on it before.
They set you up. They fucking set you up as the patsy for this whole thing.
Like I said, I have no proof, so I don't want to choose, but I'm such a subjective, and it's not a fact. I don't want to perceive it as fact. I
smell a rat. I smell a big, fat, smelly fucking rat.
Advertise,
The proof is in the Chinese buffet, Fred, because we know for a fact there's no way they had intricate court setups and judges set up.
But better than that, they had songs already hooked up. They had song parodies. They had
song parodies,
everything set up for it, which then led to the Will the Farter thing for the next week. The whole thing was a setup, Fred. And you know what? How do you feel about that whole thing? How do you feel about being really one of the original Whackpackers that's on the show, and then all of a sudden you're kind of marginalized for this fat fucking money grifting fuck that happens to get more airtime than practically everyone? Why are you marginalized now?
So his life, if I lose the chance of the honorable Judge Randy, I would never subject myself to go through the with the father. I would quit the show and never hear about from the show. Retired like Crack and Bob. Retired when he moved to Texas to be with his family.
It has a similar vibe to Bob. It really does.
I agree.
Yeah. It's one of the good guys, and I miss him. Terribly.
I know he was a loss. He was definitely a loss for this show. Do you feel like you were a little bit used by the show, honestly?
As I said, the last time I was on, I came off in a positive manner.
Right.
if I finish like just when the show like that, you know, get situated. So that does me something. I know happens is slow and when it is mentally insufficient, for the lack of a better word.
Right.
You know, I am not insulting her, but I'm just saying, if a person with a lower IQ than hypothetical know right from wrong, and his habits have a temper tantrum. He was when he was texting me, he was behaving like a 5-year-old child who know how to curse just wizardly and use every 4 letter words.
Yeah, but High Pitch Eric is retarded like a fox, honestly.
You give him a shutdown. You know, that's why I did not answer my phone, and he texted me, and when I blocked him from Twitter, that's when he threatened to kill me.
Yeah, I think that was all Fred.
And if you let me finish
Go
one
ahead.
And with his tweet threatening me, it became worse to worse, more angrier, and I said, you know, I won't be subjected to this. I went to the police station, spoke with a detective, showed him those texts, and he acted immediately to arrest Happy Eric, you know.
Fred, did it sound like just using your instincts, your animal elephant instincts? Did it sound as if
your pachydermy psychology?
Well, did it sound as if High Pitch was reading from like a barbecue stained transcript? Did it sound like he was reading when he was threatening you?
I know.
Right, from a juicy juice stained
like
napkin.
A barbecue
he was so angry with me.
But for what? You know what? This is bullshit. It's
what? Yeah, right. What possible reason could anyone have
to be mad at you?
Being angry. You are the last person.
The nicest guy.
Anybody. You are the nicest guy I've ever spoken to. Just in this little time we're here to rise ire out of someone, unless it's completely manufactured. Like we believe it is.
Of course. You know, it all makes sense now, and I just feel really, really bad that for the years. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's the part that I always have with happen, and this is the first time I met her. I thought this person cannot be trusted.
No, he cannot be trusted. You know that.
I don't like how he's living his life. He always tried to nickel and dime people, try to look for how to make money the easy way instead of working.
Of course. What was he for like a week? He worked at the hot dog stand at Yankee Stadium?
I even find to Marianne from Brooklyn that since I work for the government, I can give, advice for how to get a government job. But Marianne told me that I won't do any good because he got a slightly conviction from when he's threatening Opie and Ashley.
Oh, he's threatened so many people. He's done this constantly. This is his MO.
Marianne only enables him.
Yes, she enables him. That's exactly right.
I like I said, I don't want to check what I don't want to take I take anyway away from Marianne because I think she speaks from her heart. She's a cherry. I could pause it and really look out for happiness. But in doing that, if she accepts behavior he shows is that she's not helping him any.
No, she's not helping him.
That was a little muffled. No, that was a little muffled.
I'm just saying, Marianne is not helping.
She's not helping him. She's not helping him.
If it doesn't help him control his behavior.
He's never going to change.
You're calling her a Benson hussy.
Now, Eric is never going to change. He is who he is, and that's the end of him. I'm going to move on to another subject. I think we've kind of, you know what, I think, John, in my mind, I'm so crystal clear on this total being a setup and using you as a foil for their setup for the show, which I'm kind of sad about. I have to be honest with you.
Cock, it could be Joey from the, from the mind of Joey Boots and the sort of script, and then it was passed on to them, and they set this whole thing up. I mean, they'll take anything.
That comes directly from the Stern Show. Sorry,
no,
Johnny.
It might have been.
There's no way Joey Boots' mind works that way. Joey Boots is like a fucking checker game. I mean,
they'll do anything.
Noah King.
Thanks for calling us gang.
They should call it the Cat of Black because they get to call me a bully with the secret office one down. How does Joe Bruce they to call me a bully. He's the one that if push comes to shove, he attacks me from the only thing he can mess up on me is a one time I shit in my pants.
Yep.
Right.
That's something, maybe except when the first happy, I don't know what to say a second to show, but so they came out, I admit it, if I admit it becomes past history. And, I'm not saying, history should be forgotten. But now, if you want to measure, I'm happy to take it.
Right. Agreed.
Well, so it's also another case of Jew-on-Jew crime, Monique.
Oh, right, it is Jew-on-Jew crime. You're so right.
It's happening over and over again now.
You don't do that anymore.
He will always mention the same thing. So Joey always does really upset me. Anymore.
Jew lives matter, John.
I meant to promise myself, and this is you may want to classify this as big news right now. I lost. Because of all the things that's happening, I lost any more desire to go onto his show no more. If it's the last contract how he has, and
listen, you know what? You go out on your own terms.
What do you have to gain from it?
You have nothing to gain from it. You go out on your own terms.
More to gain from the show. It was a great time since 1987. I don't look back with regret.
Of course not.
But, I don't need this shit from hotness.
Of course you don't.
And like I say, since how we moved to satellite, maybe did not prevent lesson for me. I don't care, but the people knows who I am anymore. It's a too, but not that much before 2006.
Well, that goes into another question.
So I can take that. So
right.
That
goes into another question, though, Fred. How do you feel about the show today? Like, how do you feel the show has evolved in some positive fashion, negative?
How it becomes too mainstream.
Yeah, he's very PC now.
I miss it that, in the way, if you're a celebrity to the rounds of radio, if you want to go to serious, you will probably end up our so forth, and then whomever else, that particular celebrity have time to talk to second. So now so that how it is not any different from a typical talk show that features celebrity guests, and that's okay. I don't mind how it's so successful, but remember the time it used to have like stupid game show like lesbian dating game or what was it? My mind is blank now. You know, you can do that with, right. How long ago since a grandson won a trip for his grandfather, a trip to the Bahamas. They don't do that anymore, and that's what I miss.
We do too.
Some celebrity interviews are interesting, but some of them I don't care for. I'm not a fan of the particular celebrity, and sometimes I don't I listen to the show if it's like Chelsea Handler.
Agreed. I fast forward right through that bitch. I hate her. I really do. I fucking hate Chelsea Handler.
Yeah, that's it. And she seems to be like a record symptom after so often. She comes on the show. What for? She's like, very few people listen to her.
Well, it seems like the people that are on now are just very insulated friends of Howard, people that he associates with now in Hollywood, people that are friends of friends of friends of friends. Like, why the fuck would anybody have Khloe Kardashian on to, promote some show?
To me,
Monique, we figured out
right.
That's a Whale Rock connection.
Not only is it a Whale Rock connection, but it's a Chelsea Handler connection.
Yes.
They're all friends. That whole crew.
Yes, that's it.
It's gotta be 112. It's gotta be Buchwald, Fred. It's gotta be Whale Rock. It's gotta be the Hamptons.
Yeah, it's a whole circle jerk of celebutards. Yeah. I hate them all. I want to move on to another subject, though. So we want to talk about how you got the moniker Fred the Elephant Boy, and if you could go back in time, would you change that name?
One more time. It was a little couple.
That's okay. The name Fred the Elephant Boy. If you had to go back in time, would you change that name, or is that something you're happy with?
Maybe actually people want to do Elephant Man.
Oh, you want to be man as opposed to boy?
It's a marker that's stuck with me for the years. That's what people recognize me and,
and you're okay with it?
I don't mind it at all. Well, one time when you stop Fred Cooper was going to be on the show, and it was doing the Broadway Elephant Man. I came into the studio, began to be his focal cause to become the Elephant Man, but they never come back to me on it. So
did you do a lot of pre-scripted
opportunity to be funny and irreverent?
Did you guys do a lot of pre-scripted stuff up in the studio up there?
No, not really.
Like, did you go on and then
How about the black prank call, Fred? Was that scripted?
What?
Oh no! When I did prank, no. No. It's scripted.
Right. Yeah, of course, that's scripted.
When I make the phone call, I was ready in front and one of the flaps out, so Sara always could give me instruction what you said next, what you said next, and the thing was with the fish twatter.
What about the threesome? What about the threesome porn?
It was not a chronological speaking.
Right.
Like the middle was the beginning, or the beginning was at the end was at the middle.
Didn't matter.
So, but they cut and patched, whatever I say, it became like a fabulous, funny phone call.
What about the threesome chat site thing? Was that actually from a listener who found that on you? Was that actually like some crazy happenstance that they just happened to catch you on this chat website phone call thing?
Oh, that was years ago.
We know, trust me.
Maybe I wasn't smart. I never used my name, but somebody.
Yeah, because you're so not recognizable.
I pick up my phone, record it, and send to Howard. It was a stupid mistake on my part, and I have to live with that mistake. But in the long way, it's all for fun.
Well, fuck him, man. Everybody else is out there. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Did you wind up getting laid from that?
I always look at this way. If I did the most embarrassing thing and it was played off on the air and I did not call to the right, I said to myself, not to worry. Pretty soon somebody else would do something more stupid than me.
Well, that's true. And now let me ask you a question. So do you consider yourself straight or gay or bi? Where do you land on that?
I think that's I'm more comfortable with the that's I'm actively looking for it. But if push comes to shove, whomever gives me attention
is the winner.
I go with it.
But do you find that to be weird? Like, we were thinking about this today as I was kind of pulling together questions with John.
That sounded like Beth, Monique.
We were talking about how curious it is that there's such a ridiculous gay angle to a lot of the Whack Pack. Like, with High Pitch, with his fascination with
the puppet. The puppet is with what you said, example, you do say, I don't know all the much about you, but I'm taking for granted, you from when you were a child, you develop a normal social life.
You know what it is, Fred? It's like whenever they run out of ideas, Howard's go-to move is to make the next Whack Packer come out of the closet. So whether it's Joey Boots or Captain Jenks,
High Pitch,
or now everybody's
Wait, what do you think the psychology is behind that? Because it's such a curious thing about how a disproportionate amount of the Whack Pack is gay.
That's what closeted queens did, with $10 million closeted queens do. Everyone's gay. Well, so he hopes. It's wishful thinking. He wants everybody to be gay, just like him.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Do you ever think that Howard goes the way of the gay man? Like, he talks about gayness so much. It's almost.
Have you ever seen a straight guy talk about gay guys that much, Fred?
Yeah, well, I find like Howard unfortunately live here with his thinking and son. So, with me, I'm used to looking at the middle door. I can see, good things and bad things from each side of the spectrum. But Howard is getting more and more levels, and it's not just that. It's not the same how I knew, before.
It certainly ceases to be funny anymore. Like that comedy, it's way past the point of any kind of satire. It's like some kind of,
Yeah, and when you think about who his key demographic is, which is basically like, the heterosexual male aged 25 to 54, I gotta believe they don't really give a shit about who's gay and who's not and how big someone's cock is. No?
That's it, because, but the only thing that is on Stone Side with that is that you get to hear something you never heard before on radio, and that about is if the same thing is discussed about, with the gay element, it becomes boring and monotonous.
Yes.
Like how many times when George, I give you an example when George the guy to Richworth and Nassen, from the show, there's always would be a gay segment,
Always.
Do you think this guy is attractive? With his lower your pants, show your business.
Right.
That's a very cogent point.
It's gone now. I am not such just like, how don't ask anymore women to strip naked,
Yep.
Going to studio and get topless, TOPNESS.
I'm still laughing at cogent point, John.
I can, because most women as bar, where to bar, we get naked, just to be funny, stupid.
Yeah, well, there hasn't been a naked woman in there since Jesus left the Jews. So let's be honest. This is not happening anymore. This is not going on. So we want to ask you a couple of questions about how it is to be in studio. What's it like, basically, when you're on air and then you take a commercial break? Like, does he talk to you? Does he engage you?
Like we're usually doing play. That's when the staff talks to him. So I don't know. And what they say, how you doing? Small talk. But I don't get into nothing less with it. And when I do the show, I shall not. I am not nervous. Yeah, I know what to expect. I know, I know what I can say, what I can't say.
Right.
I try to censor myself, not because to prevent, something embarrassing about me. Like, I am forget, but if the squab is something, if I embarrass somebody else who is not part of the show, and people put us together, I don't want them to be a part of any ridicule.
Right.
Right.
So is Ralph a dick?
What?
Is Ralph a dick?
Let me put it like this, Fred. Like who,
yeah.
including Plughead, including Howard, because he pulls all the strings, and all the marching orders come from him, including Howard. Who do you not like on the staff, and who do you like?
Oh, I like it. Everybody.
How's Gary?
It's so hard to skip because I don't have any issue with with anybody on the staff. Just because I keep on issue with everybody. If I have to call up the back office, I like such a rat back at the call them constantly. I just go to step up business and I don't have time for small talk. I know how busy they are. So I never have a problem. Not with Gary, not with Will, John, Jason, or Sara, or JT, or Ronnie, or Scott. I always have a pleasant time.
Good.
If I pop into anybody in the back office.
Grillo was on a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about how, back in the day when he was on K-Rock and, you started to come into popularity, he had to start competing with you for appearances and stuff like that. And he used to get a little bit upset about that because it's like, here I was on the show, albeit not getting paid any kind of fucking money on there. But
like the weekend stuff.
Right. So like the weekend stuff where he would, where all of a sudden he had to start competing with like you and Hank and other people for appearances and things like that. Did you make some decent money doing appearances back in the heyday of the show?
Back in the K-Rock days, let me tell you, I don't know how to sell myself or make inquiries of it. If there's a case, they came to me for it, and usually sometimes before the show became super hot. If you want to hire me for a period, they'll give me the person number, and it's up to me to call me back. And, and I had a lot more cases in the past. Saying to them, but I don't miss it. I have a record job, so, and I make a good salary.
So what are you doing now what do you do for yourself? What do you do?
Me, I work for the government.
Oh, you do? How long have you been working for them?
Almost 40 years.
Really?
Yeah. That's what separate me from the rest of the rat bag.
That you're an earner?
I have to hold the job.
That you have to actually pay taxes in April? That's what makes it different.
And pay my taxes. It was
Think about that, Fred. You actually support high pitch.
Refund.
You support high pitch. Think about that.
Yeah, that's it. And like I said, one of the things happens accept me, I say about it, is where I could play the Harper's is doing Blue Bloods, and I'm also pay him with my textiles.
That's exactly right. You do.
And if there's a hypocrisy with anybody who's on social services, it should, if it was me, and if I was on public assistance, I would do my best to get out of it as soon as possible.
Yeah, well, that's you. And you're not 500 pounds and walking around with 2 canes and a fucking jazzy. So you're in a whole different league all by yourself. You're not an alcoholic. You're not a drunk. You're not a raging pothead. You're not.
Yeah, I never developed any bad habits because when I was young, if it's the potheads and the police, I wouldn't want to hang out with them. So I get my distance from them and said they give me 2 cents to pay attention to me. So it worked out okay in the long run.
Of course it does. So we want to talk. Do you want to go into it?
Did you ever hear that roast of? Well, they did. It was a roast of Gary, but Colin Quinn was on it, and he was talking about Robin and Mr. X, and the guy. Mr. X worked for the government apparently, and Colin said something like, "Apparently, Mr. X works for the government."
Yeah, well, I met him. I met Mr. X at a strip club of Rocket.
No, you're not working in the, you're not walking in there with your work badges at Scores, government work badge.
With your swipe badge.
No, well, I knew the publicity director, Lonnie Hanoff, and when I need to to entertain. I never have to pay a cover charge, you know, and school was a great place.
Well, Fred, Colin said that saying you're working for the government is really black guy code for actually being married with 3 kids, and you don't know what
I was married with 3 kids.
Does that make sense?
I would be very content.
All right, so we had some questions from people. They want to know with your wrestling federation thing. So we had Nicole on a couple of weeks ago, and she told us that she was sexually assaulted in the locker room. Did you ever see anything kind of fucked up like that happen in the locker room?
No. It's just an accessory from Harry Potter. I always act accordingly. You know, I am a mess at the time say ability to take pain and you know, if it's how to say a racial show is it's written, but whatever happens to them, you know, you have to be safe to take it. It's not like a fake something at the, you know, the president, you know, a fake, you know, slap to the face, you know, it was a sound of the slap is a sound effect. If you hit the guy, you hit them.
Right.
You know, if you pull a punch, it's not like you don't feel nothing. You still feel something.
Of course.
Less of a burn. So I will always add a muffled say ability to accept and take pain.
All right, here's a fuck, marry, kill for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Go for it, John.
No. F, marry, kill, Fred. You know what that game is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Vince McMahon, Pat Patterson, or Steve Lombardi, the Brooklyn Brawler. You can choose that.
F, marry, kill.
F, marry, kill.
Yes. I would marry Vince McMahon, shoot a silver body, the broken bar up because it is the dominant, how do you say, what's what? It's famous for being at your body. And Pat Patterson, because if Pat Patterson is gay, you probably would know what he's doing.
Right.
So I would probably have him.
I got one of my own, Fred.
Yeah.
I just thought of this. F, marry, kill. Allison Stern, Beth Ostrowski Stern, and Marcy Turk.
What was the second one?
Beth
Howard's
Stern,
wife.
Yeah.
And Marcy Turk.
Do you know about Marcy Turk? Do you know who she is?
Yeah, I know Marcy. I met her.
Oh, wow. Makes one.
Who's the third one? Beth, Marcy, and...
Okay.
And Allison Stern.
Allison Stern. Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, there's such a big...
Go on, John.
Let me think for a moment. If
Allison in her heyday, how about that?
I would probably
got all day, Fred.
Marry Marcy Turk.
Marry Marcy Turk. That's the right move. She's an earner.
Beth and good Allison.
Kill Allison, really? So fuck Beth because you know.
Okay. I think I remember Allison Starr married like the executive or founder of Naples Only Coffee, and now you don't see Naples Only anymore. So Bobby went out of business, and Puppy, I said just for money.
So wait, so we didn't know that you met Marcy Turk. What kind of person is she? Because, you know, she's never talked about online.
Very attractive.
Yeah.
I don't know how. She's like a model figure. She got reddish hair and she almost as attractive as Babs.
Really?
Did she want to do improv with you, Fred? Random improv.
I don't know about that.
Improv sex. Well, what do you think about it? A pachyderm and a horse mate, right? What kind of crazy animal you got?
That's a fucked up fat ass. Wow. So, okay. Johnny, do you have any more questions for our little Freddie?
Let me see here. I do want to know, when you, as far as Gary.
Baba Booey?
Yeah, Gary, what interaction do you have with him as far as prepping you to come on the show? What does he do with you? Does he contact you off the air? Do you have powwows with him?
Like, who's your contact person? What's your go-to move?
Jason and Will?
Usually the people at the show I used to speak with is like Jason or Steve Patano. You know, I read the last time I was on the air, you know, we're doing the special people card. I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to jeopardize my case with Happy Savage. So I didn't want to present after that came off the air with and after that I told Jess that we didn't want to do it, and the Gary was on the line with me, and he convinced me to do the episode, you know, the segment.
You know what it is too, Fred? We're getting reports lately that Howard's actually mailing in the show from ISDN line. The last 3 weeks or so, he suspiciously does not have any of those celebrities we were talking about. And it's been a lot of just mail it in, sort of filler segments.
Whack packers, fill-ins.
Produced by the dudes who work 7 days.
There's a lot of whack packers that's couple weeks of shows, so I don't know.
Fred, did you actually, was Howard in studio when you were there, or was he calling in from ISDN?
No. You know, Howard was controlling to, you know, to sockets. Yeah, so,
looking down, poking at that yogurt.
I really don't know, you know, but I bet just coming with, there would be some kind of celebrity, you know, back on the show.
I have a question for Fred.
I could give you a secret. I did some and more announcement, of guests. So probably in the coming weeks, you will hear them.
I want you to, when next time they you're such a great sport about that name. To it, as you've indicated. I love your attitude about it, by the way, because so many people would just not accept it. You do. You embrace it. If you just can turn it around on Howard and say, look, what do you say, Howard? I call you Howard the Pelican Skater Boy. That's my name for you. You call me. You get to call me Fred the Elf Boy. I get to call you that. How about that?
If Howard was a guest on my show, I would call him a hypocrite because what the sequence happens, I got the feeling it's like except happen because he is like unstable.
Of course he's unstable.
So only him can get away some of the stunts he gets away with.
Yeah, well, Fred, shockingly, you're too normal for the show anymore.
Reprimand him for doing dumb stuff because I am not the first person help is threatening.
Of course not.
The others in the past, and I just want said to be a written record of what happens to me for two considerations.
Yeah, well, Fred, because of the speech impediment, the common mistake people make with you is they severely underestimate your intelligence and normality. Yeah. You're actually a very normal guy. You're not, it's just the speech impediment gets clouded into thinking you're something that you're not.
I don't want to say I am, I'm above the rest of
you can say it. You can say it.
Yeah, go for it.
We're saying it.
You're allowed.
Yeah, but I say, if I hang around with happiness for a long period of time, I will probably become as star as she is.
As your surrogate, I
need people to simulate me.
Fred, as your surrogate podcast parents, Monique and I, we forbid you. We forbid you from hanging out with High Pitch Eric.
Ever. If we ever find out you're hanging out with him.
Oh, you can't play Xbox.
Because we love you and we appreciate you and we've appreciated all the years of incredible free content that you have given to the Howard Stern Show and made and in your own small way have, just kind of parlayed like a simple experience into a lifetime of being known for being a person on air and having fun and being such a good fucking sport. I don't know how to have overcome, being a child with a horrible speech impediment. I do believe your brother had the same thing, right? So here's your family basically, and you're fucked with your entire childhood life, and then as an adult, it somehow gets parlayed into you being a household name for the Howard Stern world. So I guess, you take the good with the bad, and it's okay that at the end of the day, you're known as this guy, and, maybe people think that you are, a slow adult or retarded or anything that they think, but you know what? It's okay because, who wins at the end? You do. Because you know that you're not that person, and you know that, you're better than them to some extent. Yeah. So it's a good thing.
I look at this, I look at this way. The same people who made fun of me and bullied me when I was young, I probably listened to that show, and now I have the opportunity of being on the show for almost 40 years.
Wow.
And because let's face it, I like you guys. I cannot call up any other radio show, not because I've been to Central Howard, because I listen to
you are inextricably connected with this show for the rest of your life, whether you like it or not, for good or bad.
And Fred, I hate to break it to you, but with Howard's fake teeth now, he's dangerously heading into your territory now. Very close.
Did we lose Fred?
Did we lose him?
I feel like
You're still recording, right?
I feel like we may have lost.
Yeah, I heard like a clicker. He flickered out. Did you hear that? Like right in the middle. I can't tell the difference. I can't tell the difference between a Skype malfunction and his actual accent.
I think we lost him. I was going to do a little wrap up, but I guess not.
Should we end it there?
Well, if he calls back, we'll say our goodbye. We'll bid adieu, just so that we can wrap it up. But we have to have a little after discussion here. Go ahead, what?
No, it's good. After this is all finalized, we get closure on it. I don't know if we're going to need closed captions or Burrell's one of those.
I feel like I was at a fucking bar mitzvah where someone is doing a fucking Jewish haftorah. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is?
You remember those Burrell's transcripts that you can get away at the end of the talk show? Livingston, New Jersey, speaking of Jews.
Oh my god! I think we need to do subtitles. I think. Okay, we went on for an hour and a half, which is a lot longer.
Not to be disrespectful, we need to.
No, we need to.
I understood every 10th word. If that's being generous.
That is being generous.
And I'm just going, and I'm trying to ask a follow-up question, and I'm going, all right, what did he say? I thought I heard George Takei in there. Maybe I could do a George Takei impression. At some point, he said, for lack of a better word, I'm like, I heard that and didn't hear the next 40 words, and I'm going, ironically, he just said, for lack of a better word. I'm like, wait.
Oh, poor Fred. He is the sweetest.
But the poor guy, right? He's such a sweet. It's actually, and when you did it, he actually is making a lot of sense to what I could understand, and like.
Well, I think we grabbed a couple of things from that whole thing. I think fucking 100% the whole Eric thing. He manipulated him and he goaded him into calling the fucking police on him. I think this whole thing there's no fucking way Joey Boots has the intelligence and the forethought to think of something like this. This is like a Benji thing almost, for God's sake.
No, I'm just saying I think he's in cahoots with the sort of origins of it because he always has to align himself.
I hear you, but I think the whole thing was way too easily set up for it
no
to.
Doubt about it.
I think they used him as the fucking fall guy.
Songs are pre-made right out of the fucking holster, on the weekend.
I feel so bad. They really used him as a fucking fall guy, John.
Yep. It's funny. I looked at that TMZ article and it's time stamped 7:43 in the morning.
Really?
So that's when the show is on. So clearly it was like leaked to them at the same time, and it's all this one big
all
machine.
Manipulated. Just a big fucking manipulation.
So creepy. Everything's so fake. Everything.
How sad is it though? He said he wanted to kill himself in 6th grade because he was made fun of so horribly. Can you imagine just tough. Being that child?
Yeah, but also too, you're talking about and I didn't say this, that we could not get a word in. I'm like, you're talking about this is 80s, I don't know how old he is, but let's say it's early 80s, New York City. Is there any meaner place than that?
No.
To have a speech impediment and have to go around?
No.
And who knows where he went to school? God knows. I mean, they must
some stupid fucking shithole in Queens, where everybody's a dick. Exactly. Every kid is a fucking douchebag.
Yep.
They're probably half Irish, half Italian. They fucking hate everyone.
Everywhere at that time. Could you imagine?
Yeah, but you know what? All of us were such bigoted fucking douchebags back then. Honestly, everyone.
Yeah, we're all bad.
I think Fred's phone died. I think that's what happened because I texted him and I don't have. Fred.
I think Fred. You know what Fred was? It just hit me now.
What?
He was a modern day. He was a real life sweat hog. He was in Cotter's class. Gabe Kaplan taught him, and he was sharing a desk with fucking Horseshack.
He's like Horseshack. That's exactly right.
Yeah, that's exactly, and that was New York City, and that was.
Poor Fred. So, Fred, if you're listening, we're sorry that we lost you. We really enjoyed having a conversation with you.
There was these little brilliant words were popping out every now and again, and I'm like, did I just hear it? Did he just say ascertain, or did he just say, I would hear a word, I'm like, oh my god. I think he said accessorize at one point. Did he say accessorize?
Oh, no.
Like, what? He surprised the shit out of you. It was just this is
That's because, you know what? That's because he is normal. He just has this horrific speech impediment, really. I mean, I never really am saddened or err on the side of feeling bad for anyone because I have no fucking empathy gene. But I truly I empathize with him, and I feel bad that he's gotten a little maligned lately on the show, and not really a significant part of it as he used to be. But you know what? Probably some of it is because you can't really understand him too well. So in order to have that good back and forth dissertation with people, you need to have probably just a modicum more understanding. You think maybe?
Well, it sounds like he definitely indeed knew he's being exploited, and it does sound like he really doesn't want to do it anymore, and it sounds like he just he's done with kind of lending his services, and I bet you he does have people telling him, why do you need this? You don't, what is in it for him?
At this point, nothing. Because you know what, they don't use him like they used to. He's not getting freebies like that fucking drunken one-armed wonder wherever the fuck he lives in a trailer park with all his Periscope shit. He's not living off the fucking government like 95% of them are when you think about it. And he's not that guy. I mean, he should hold himself to a little bit of a higher plane than them. He should. He fucking works. I mean, that in itself takes him above.
Wouldn't you love to follow him around for a week, though, in that government installation?
Oh my God, 100%. 100%.
Who knows? When you say government, that could mean a million different things. God knows.
He could work in the fucking post office down the block from me.
Right. That's exactly what's under the category.
Stamping shit and taping boxes. What the fuck does that mean, really? All right, well, that was interesting. So we're gonna figure this out and sort through it, I guess. And Johnny, you have to help me with this, okay? Seriously, because we have to kind of figure it out.
When do we do our Oscar recap? that Howard didn't do.
Oh my God, can we discuss that just for a quick second while we're here?
Okay, all right.
Because fuck it, it's fresh in my mind. I just think
there's a lot of theories on that.
So, Chris Rock. 6 minutes of absolute fucking uncomfortable hell, as far as I'm concerned.
6 minutes?
Well, the opening.
3 hours. It was a complete
the whole
thing
was
race-wise.
Sphincter puckering is how bad I felt it was.
Fest. It was
fucking white guilt. And you know what? Who the fuck wants to see Whoopi Goldberg?
I love Chris Rock. I do.
I do
one of my favorite comedians.
Believe me, I think that I totally think he gave a total fucking dig to Jada Pinkett at the beginning.
Oh, it's great. And that's where you
can't. It's like, bitch, you make millions of dollars. What the fuck? Yep. It's like, you know, you're the last person to protest. Oh, and by the way, you probably weren't even invited, so fuck you. I thought that was kind of a dig, which was weird to me, because, you know, it doesn't seem like he'd do something like that.
I love going after Will Smith and Concussion and go, you tell the truth. I want you to tell the truth. Every black guy loves making fun of that now. All my black friends make fun.
Oh my God, it's the best. And did they not have more black people as presenters than ever before?
It was so forced. And you know, every black person I know hates that charity. They hate the white guilt charity. They can see through it. They don't want you to kind of force things on it. They want your sort of, you know, to have it be organic, to have it be authentic and sort of, but when it's forced like that, they see right through it.
Yeah.
It's like in the comic book culture now, especially the movies. They're turning white characters black, and any black friend I ever had, and we heard it with Trigun. He's like, I don't want a black Nick Fury. Nick Fury is white. There's a black guy named Agent Gabriel, who's black. Use him. Don't turn fucking, give me another black character. Firestorm into a white.
Are there any?
Over and over again. And in terms of the Fantastic Four movie, that horrible, wretched Fantastic Four movie that just came out, they turned the Human fucking Torch black. No race, you know, like a burnt matchstick. Like, and it was like his sister is white. His sister, Susan Storm, is fucking white. His name is Johnny Storm. You don't turn him black. And they don't want that charity. Black people see through that. It looks so awful as a white guy. It really does it gives me douche chills as a white guy when they force it like that.
Well, it was the lowest rated Oscars in over 8 years. And I fucking hate Whoopi Goldberg more than life itself. And that whole Stacey Dash thing was so random.
Really strange.
I mean, I know she's like an arch-conservative Republican.
Yeah, like an android conservative came out, like a light-skinned kind of. She's a lot older than you think, too. I think she's like over 50.
No.
I swear to Christ, she's like one of those freakishly
black don't crack
young. Yes.
Really? So she came out. She's like, "Hi, I'm Stacey Dash, and Black Lives Matter," or whatever the fuck she said.
And who's thought about her since fucking Clueless?
No, she was on Fox News for a while, and then I think she got fired for some.
In terms of the entertainment.
Oh, no. She hasn't done anything. I mean, she was a pretty girl, honestly. Yeah. But yeah, she went off the fucking deep end at some point. I just think the whole show sucked. I hated the Lady Gaga thing. I think she's turned into some sort of like, you know, White Walker from the fucking other side of the wall. She looks like a freak. I didn't even understand the song. I don't know what the fuck is going on with the Oscars today. I don't understand why we have the need to have all these other, like, make it 2 hours, make it pretty fucking concise. I only want to know who's winning, like in acting, maybe music and some special effects, and that's really it. They did not include fucking Abe Vigoda in the death memoriam thing.
It was one of the weakest. It was probably the weakest death memorial thing. Like, just nobody passed. You know, it was.
Yeah, they were saying, well,
I thought Riley Martin was going to pop up.
No shit. You know, they
Who else did we lose from the Stern universe?
So we lost
Riley.
Crackhead Bob.
In memoriam.
Who else? Who else did we lose? Somebody else.
Eric was last year. Right?
No, somebody else. Eric's guy.
Oh, Johnny Fratto.
You know, there's not that many of them left, I have to tell you.
He has a tertiary connection to the Hollywood community.
And by the way, all of them sound like fucking death warmed over, so I can hardly imagine that they're going to be lasting. It's very curious, though.
How about Patricia Arquette having sex with those cue cards? Is she not?
How about
like she does with David?
One Happy Meal short of fucking obese. Seriously.
Have you ever heard of more? It sounds like she's on like NPR at 3:00.
Death warmed over. Seriously, I fast forwarded right through her.
Vicodins. Oh my god.
She's like a monster. Monster. She was a beast. And like Kate Winslet, another one. You know, she's like Jumbotron. She was wearing like a hefty bag with like some gold foil on it. It was just awful. Yeah, it was just fucking awful. And by the way,
I mean, the reason I brought it up is Howard avoided it.
Oh, he avoided the Oscars completely today, which I thought was cute. Well, apparently Beth was visiting her mother. I know people tried to make a bigger fucking deal out of that, but maybe she was just visiting her mother. And, you know, I guess they're usually like two tweens who have to hold hands and watch these stupid fucking shows together. He's claiming he forgot about it, but a lot of people's theory is that he wants to see what the blacklash is, and then he'll come out with... You like that? And then he'll come out with, you know, a theory based on, you know, he'll probably say tomorrow.
Let's see what everybody else says first, and is it safe?
Is it safe to come out and comment on it?
And or he's afraid to watch it without Beth, so he's got it DVR'd. And he's gonna watch it with her when she comes back, and they're gonna, well, I mean, he certainly doesn't, it's the same thing we talk about with the Amy Schumer thing.
Right. Nothing. Radio silence. Meanwhile, when David Bowie died, if you recall, he couldn't wait to talk about the fucking, what was it, the Grammys or whatever it was for hours on end. With clips pulled and everything.
But all those movies are so highbrow.
Highbrow.
For the fucking, 14-year-old tween.
Ugh. I tried every single one of them for fucking free. Every single one of them. I couldn't get through The Revenant. There was no words, and basically he was fucked by a bear. Then I tried to get through Carol. How you can ruin a lesbian movie is beyond me. That Rooney Mara with her resting fucking bitch face puss. And, there was just, I didn't see the connection at all. I fast forwarded through the entire thing. The one about the sexual harassment by priests in Boston, I didn't even get to yet. What else was it? Mad Max was like the only one that I really, really enjoyed, and I was glad that it got some awards. By the way, no woman should ever go. What?
DiCaprio spoke about as much as Fred Norris does during a Stern show.
Oh my god, he had coke mouth too. He was talking out of the side of his mouth. Somebody was like saying that maybe he had some tobacco in there.
In The Revenant, not how he sounded last night.
Oh, he sounded like shit last night though too.
Last night. But in The Revenant, he had about as much lines as Fred during the course of a Stern show. It's it's so not an Oscar thing that you would want. All the shit that guy's done, I'm not a fan. I've gone over this a million times. He's a little fucking man-child she-boy, and he looks ridiculous when he tries to play a tough guy. I don't find – the only things I've ever enjoyed from him is What's Eating Gilbert Grape and This Boy's Life.
I did love What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He does look like a 15-year-old lesbian with facial hair. You're 100% right.
Take him serious. He looks, as a basketball player, staunch basketball player who takes pride in how shit looks on screen. When he was in Basketball Diaries, I wanted to go to New York City and I wanted to take heroin and play basketball and tell him how it's done.
And pummel him with his city bike.
Fucking environmentalists taking private jets to go to, Miami to watch the Lakers.
It's a small wonder. They're all such incredible hypocrites about the lives that they lead. I'm pretty much floored. If I want to hear political fucking commentary, I'll watch MSNBC or Fox. I don't watch movie stars
It's amazing how they all go to it, though. It's amazing how they all go to the politics.
Yeah.
You know, it's not different. Politicians want to be liked. And actors grow up wanting attention. It's the same kind of mentality of like the way a politician needs you to like them and needs attention. And that's how an actor thinks. Like anybody that goes into show business that voraciously has some kind of attention starvation problem. They can't, a quota that they can't get fixed. It's no different than a politician. It's the same.
Yeah. It's that whole love me everybody, don't hate me.
Can't get enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. All right, I'm going to wrap this shit up. We've been here for a while. Thank you, Fred, so much for coming on. We really, really appreciated you. I'm looking forward. We have some exciting interviews coming up during the course of the next 2 weeks as well. So we're looking forward to that. And we will also do a thorough weeks in review this week or next week. Usually we wait for like 6 shows because it's so fucking boring lately that there's really not that much to offer in terms of
maybe we could hit that Simon Cowell
actual content. Yeah, definitely want to hit that.
And in full.
Yeah, so let's save ourselves on that one because I definitely want to talk about the passive aggressive byplay that's going on there with this Hell fucking show. He definitely was fired from AGT. There is no doubt in my mind now the way he's like running with this shit.
More than ever, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, so Johnny Boy, we're taping another show on Thursday, so hopefully we'll be able to get this out to you guys in the very near future as soon as we go through it and figure out what the fuck went on. But Fred, thank you so much. We love you and we really appreciate you coming on. And it was great that you called in. And we
Toots. I gotta say this. Great job pursuing him. Great job setting this up. It's a tough, almost in the Nicole vein of sort of wrangling them in and sort of, romancing this. And a great job. Great job.
Thank you, baby. And we have some good people that we've been double teaming, so I think we're hitting a little stride here, baby. We really are. I think it's really good for us.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one.
Oh, me too. I was excited.
Which I had that brainstorm last week, and I just jumped. And the best part is, I knew I would go too far with it.
Of course you did.
Just with the ball busting.
It was fucking classic when he wrote back and said, "Just keep that guy arm away."
I texted you in advance to save me.
I know. It was perfect.
Knew it was good.
And I came in at like 11:30 at night. We both fucking double teamed it. It was awesome.
He blocked me. I've never been so nice to someone when they block me.
That's great.
You had to reel it back in. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen.
All right. So, Johnny, I'll talk to you on Thursday. Well, probably on Wednesday so that we can kind of convene for the next show. That's all I got.